My name is Hannah Larkin, and today I'm here to talk to you about how to present data effectively without making it boring to your audience. Imagine you're sitting in a classroom and a student gets up to present. They start listing off lots of facts, data points, and other statistical information. They're doing everything right, but their audience is bored to death. In fact, their audience probably looks something like this. We have all been there, and we've all experienced this at some point in our life. And I'm sure some of us are even guilty of being that presenter. But that's okay, because today I'm going to give you advice and tips on how you can include data in your presentation while still making it entertaining to your audience. First off, knowing your audience. This is key with any presentation. Ask yourself, who am I presenting this information to? If you're presenting to a group of doctors or scientists, you're going to want to include a lot more complex data, and you can include a lot more statistical points, because that would be key in your presentation. Whereas if you're presenting to a group of students or just the general public, you're going to want to simplify your data out to make it more understandable to the average person. Never assume. This is a key point in presenting data. You never just want to list off data and statistical points and assume that your audience understands what it means. You always want to explain why that data is important and how it relates to your topic. You want to connect the dots for your audience so they don't have to do that themselves. It's your job as a presenter to speak for the data and not have the data speak for itself. Always explain why it's important, why you included it, how it relates to your topic, and presents your argument. Second, tell a story. According to Forbes, telling a story first before presenting your data is actually a great way to relate to your audience. Telling a story will help create a personal connection with your audience and make them relate to your topic better. Connecting with the audience is always key, so telling a story before presenting scientific data will help connect you with your audience. If you can't tell a story, use metaphors or analogies. Any way to simplify the data and make it more relatable to the average person will help make the audience understand it better and draw their attention in more. Stories are a lot more interesting than just listing off facts. And finally, visual aids. Visual aids are a great way to present data. They make it easier for the audience to understand. And in fact, the human brain can actually process visuals 60,000 times faster than it can text. However, visual aids can be tricky. You want to choose the right type for your presentation. There are many different types of charts, maps, graphs you can include in your presentation. Line graphs are great for showing change over time, whereas pie charts compare parts of a whole. Bar graphs show different categories and compare them. Depending on what data you are presenting, you're going to want to choose the appropriate graph or chart to present. And finally, once again, don't assume. This is really a big deal. If you're presenting a chart or a graph, don't just assume your audience knows how to read it. Explain what the chart is representing, what it shows, and how it relates to your topic. You want to explain how it's important and what it's showing. If you use these tips, knowing your audience, telling a story, using visual aids, and keeping it simplified, I promise you you'll have a much more engaged audience and a much better presentation. Your audience will not look like this, but rather it'll look like this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you very much.